Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of TPG land. Boys and girls, everybody, welcome to another 15 minutes out of your day with whatever you have going on in your home office or your newly converted home office to learn a loyalty program. So when it's time to travel again, we can hit the road with the knowledge and skills we need to book amazing award trips and picking up a few tips and knowledge along the way. My name is Richard Kerr. I am your loyalty and engagement editor here for the Points Guy. My job is to talk points and miles and to talk to you 24/7, 365. Today, JetBlue, TrueBlue, a rather simple program, which is amazing for a lot of folks who just don't have the time or desire to learn about maximizing sweet spots and those kinds of things. JetBlue is a tremendous airline, always one of the most popular in the U.S. for people to fly. I really wish they flew more routes here in Atlanta. Really, a lot of great things about the TrueBlue program. The only downside is there is no potential for outsized value. So just like I do in every Lemonade session, we're going to start with how you earn. We're going to talk a little bit about elite status. And then we're going to talk about how you redeem TrueBlue points to get some free flights or flights for $5.60 per segment thanks to the TSA passenger fee. A shout out today to start the show to all of our small business owners in the TPG Lounge and in TPG world. I cannot imagine what you're going through. We run the TPG Small Business Group, and it's very difficult right now to see how revenue has pretty much disappeared. But these people wake up every day. They live and die by their own work. They're passionate about everything they do. I want to encourage everybody to go out and support small business. If you're a small business owner, please join us in TPG Small Biz. And for everybody else, if you head to TPG and read my latest article on everything you can do to support small businesses. So shout out to the men and women in our group who run a small business. Let's get right into it today. What I do is the same every single time. I do a little screen share where I'm going to throw up some nerdy information and we're going to talk about it. So how do you earn TrueBlue points? Yes, it's one word. Yes, the B is capitalized. I have to go back and look every time I'm writing about JetBlue, TrueBlue on the Points Guide to make sure that I get this correctly. For some reason, I always want to leave the first E off and just be TrueBlue. But this is a revenue-based program. That means you earn points based on how much you pay for airfare, and then you redeem points at essentially what is almost a fixed rate, depending on how much that flight cost in dollars. So let's go down a very simple chart that JetBlue has here. They really have a very easy-to-use website, a very easy-to-use search engine that I'm going to show you here shortly. And the way you earn points is basically based on what fare class you buy, starting with Blue Basic, which is JetBlue's recently introduced basic economy equivalent. You're only going to earn one base point there. Now, something cool JetBlue does is you book directly through them on their app or website. They give you additional bonus points, either 1 or 3. So if you're booking through Chase Ultimate Rewards or you're booking through Expedia, you're not going to get these points. If you hold a JetBlue credit card, which we're going to talk about in a minute, you get an additional 3 points or more if you hold the premium credit card. And then if you have status, Mosaic status, JetBlue only has one level of status. It's called Mosaic. If you're a regular JetBlue flyer, it's actually incredibly useful. So this brings us to a total. If you're going to buy a basic economy, you have status, you have the credit card, you're going to earn a maximum of 8 TrueBlue points per dollar. More than likely, most of us are just going to earn 2 points per dollar. Now that goes along with things like you can't do seat selection, you can't change or cancel these tickets, and you can't bring baggage on unless you pay for it. So remember that. But they're Blue, Blue Plus, Blue Extra. I'm going to show you where you can find these when you're booking. You're going to earn a base of 3, book online 6. So most people should be earning about 6 points per dollar. And then if you have status in a JetBlue card, you're going to earn actually up to 15. So it says 12 here. That's for the regular JetBlue card. But if you have the JetBlue Plus, you earn 6 points per dollar spent on JetBlue. And that includes on onboard purchases as well. So actually a maximum of 15. So anywhere from 1 if you book a Blue Basic flight on an Expedia or an online travel agency, all the way up to 15 if you max it out. And that's how you earn JetBlue points. Now on top of that, we can look at the credit cards that they have down here. They have the JetBlue Plus card, which is offering up to 60,000 points per mile. 2 basic versions. These are issued by Barclays. Barclays can be a little bit particular right now in doing approvals. So if you have applied for credit a lot of times recently, you may not be approved. You do get 60,000 points right now on the premium card. Some cool benefits, check bag, early boarding, all those kinds of deals. 50% off in beverage or in-flight food and beverage, which is pretty nice. Beer for half off if you're going to be doing a long haul. And then every year you keep the card, you get an additional 5,000 bonus points. Now the premium card gets, like I said, 6 points per dollar on JetBlue purchases. It gets 2 points per dollar on grocery stores and restaurant spend, and then 1 point per dollar on everything else. It would be tough to justify this card as an everyday spend card unless you just fly JetBlue and you love JetBlue every single day. But it's a really great card to pick up for the occasional JetBlue flyer. I actually do hold it at 50% off. It can be pretty cool. The bonus miles can be worth it. And then typically this bonus is not 60,000 points, so the elevated bonus right now is a pretty great deal. One other really cool way to earn JetBlue points, and that is if you shop on Amazon on a JetBlue flight, because they offer free Wi-Fi for everybody, from the gate to gate they call it, there's no waiting until you're at 10,000 feet, you're going to get 3 points per dollar. So literally, if I have a JetBlue flight coming up, I will tell my wife, hey, fill up the cart with this week's regular Amazon order, and I'm going to order it all in flight so to get those 3 points per dollar. And it's just a pretty cool little perk that they have going on. I'm not really sure how they can afford it. It used to be much more generous, and I think some people figured out some clever ways to take advantage of it. So now it's just in flight only. And that is pretty much all there is for earning points as far as JetBlue. Now, they do have the regular hotel partners like you'll see from time to time, but nothing too exciting to talk about there. All right, let's do a quick segue here back to the camera where I'm going to talk about Mosaic status. This is JetBlue's one level of status. Mosaic can be really nice if you are a regular JetBlue flyer. I'm going to show you all the benefits in a minute, but what I want to talk about here is the option of a status match or status challenge. Typically, JetBlue has been pretty generous in offering a straight match to Mosaic status or offering you a challenge where you have to fly, say, three round-trip JetBlue flights in the next 60 days or so, something like that, and you can be matched to Mosaic status. Usually, the second half of the year is when they start to offer these kinds of status matches and challenges up. About 3 years ago, I sent JetBlue a Twitter DM where I showed them my American Airlines Executive Platinum status and said, hey, are you offering any kind of status match or challenge? And the Twitter agent responded back, sure, you're Mosaic for the rest of the year. And that was that. And it's pretty neat. So with that, let's go and look right back at the benefits of Mosaic status. Right here again on the Easy Use JetBlue website. I'm going to pull this over a little bit to make sure it's not hidden here, but you'll see it. So no change, no cancel fees. This is huge for speculative award bookings. If you see a great fare in the future that costs a few amount of points, or you know that things are going to get expensive moving forward, but you're not sure about the trip, you can go ahead and book it and then cancel it and get your points back for free. Wonderful benefit. Check bags are great. Redeem your points for the even more space seats. So typically it's, in my experience, $35 or $40 to fly those seats up front or on the exit row of some aircraft. And instead of paying $40, I think it's like 800 JetBlue points to redeem for an even more space seat if you're Mosaic. I did all the time the rest of that year that I was Mosaic. You can do the early boarding and all that great stuff. Their dedicated customer service really is great. And then complimentary booze on board for those of you who need to relax or maybe a nervous flyer and just want to have a drink to take the edge off. All right, and with that, we're going to go right into redeeming points on JetBlue, and then we're going to talk about Mint. So to do an award search, redeem JetBlue TrueBlue points. This is, like I said, a revenue-based program, essentially a flat number of points based on the revenue cost of a ticket. I always like to say, I don't know, for some reason, I search in dollars, and I'll show you how I can switch very quickly over to points here on the engine, as well as look at a calendar of different deals. So I just did an example search, Washington, D.C., DCA, a lot of JetBlue flights out of there, down to Orlando for this summer. A couple things to notice. Right at the top, you can see a whole week's worth of prices. I happen to land on the day that is 4 times as expensive as any other date, so always keep an eye here at the top if you have flexible travel dates. You'll see the prices. Here you'll see Blue Basic, Blue Extra. This is the different fare classes I was talking about in the beginning for how many points you earn. It also comes with, a few different perks. You can just click the question mark. It tells you the difference. Hey, you can pay to get a seat here in the basic economy just like everybody else. The Blue, you do get a free seat selection, and there's no fee or change cancellations right now with the Corona dates, but Blue Extra, you can basically do whatever you like, and you're going to earn more points. Remember, 1 point per dollar Blue Basic, 3 points per dollar Blue Extra Mint moving up, and if you book through JetBlue.com or the app, you get additional points on top of this. So be careful you understand the differences in these 3 fare classes for the exact same flight. I really like to click the seat map here and just check out, hey, as expected, most seats are empty right now for flights this summer. But something to keep an eye on if you're going to pick somewhere your family can sit together and you don't care what time you fly. the view seats and the aircraft type around here. And then most importantly, redeeming points right in the top right corner. TrueBlue points, you just do a simple one click and it'll change these over right to how many points you require for that flight. So if you remember, I was sitting at $139. These flights are 10,800 points. I'm going to show you some very simple math, ladies and gentlemen. Don't get intimidated. It is simple math. We knew that the fare was $139 for this DCA to MCO flight. We're going to subtract the $5.60 TSA fee off. That leaves us $133.40 that we're getting for these 10,800 points. You multiply that times 100 to get cents. You then divide that by 10,800, which gives us a value of 1.235 cents per JetBlue point, and this is about the expected value. Now, if that math went over your head, I promise you it's a very simple ratio of cents to point, but 1.2 cents is the value that we get here on this flight. Now, on really cheap fares, it can go down to less than a cent per point, but this is the expected value of a TrueBlue point, whether you book today, tomorrow, 6 months from now, it doesn't matter. You just multiply that fare, 1.2 cents, and you can get an idea of how many points a free flight or a flight for $5.60 is going to cost on JetBlue. Let's have a quick conversation about this real quick. Ultimate Rewards, a transfer partner of JetBlue now. A lot of people say, hey, should I transfer my Ultimate Rewards to JetBlue? 1.5 cents per point is what you're going to get if you have a Chase Sapphire Reserve. 1.25 cents per point is what you're going to get if you have a Chase Ink Preferred or Chase Sapphire Preferred. When booking through the Ultimate Reward portal, you can see here that the 1.23 is a little bit less than what you would get just keeping your points with Chase and booking that way. So most of the time, unless you just need to top off for an award, you're short a few points. You know, it just doesn't make sense to transfer your points to JetBlue because of this expected 1.2 cent per point valuation. You want to go ahead and book through that Ultimate Reward portal. That's just my advice there. Now, if you just have JetBlue points from flying or from the credit card, then here is the expected value. And that's really all that there is to it. There is an option to redeem on partner Hawaiian Airlines, but I'm going to show the award chart real quick here and why it's just not a very good use of your points. It just requires far too many points for Hawaiian flights. So if we go down to the award chart here and the spin economy one way from the West Coast to Hawaii, 22,000. I just see better value using it for JetBlue points, as well as there's just a lot of other better programs to use to get to Hawaii. Unless you really, for some reason, love flying Hawaiian Airlines and you really have a lot of JetBlue points, this is just a partner that should be avoided. And again, West Coast, 45,000 one way for business, 70,000 one way for Hawaiian. It's just, you know, not a very good option. I wish JetBlue would add some more partners. You know, maybe things will open up when they start looking for more code shares, as they apparently are going to be launching into Europe very soon. But let's just avoid Hawaiian Airlines for now. So besides that, ladies and gents, it's really simple. When you're just toggling between dollars and JetBlue points, this is why I love this program, why so many people do. It's simple. There's no chance for outsized value, but if you just want to fly JetBlue, which is a lovely domestic carrier or a carrier to the Caribbean, it's a great way to do it. One thing I'm going to end on today, JetBlue Mint, arguably the best business class product flying in the United States on domestic routes, with the exception of maybe American Airlines A321T. Plenty of reviews up on the Points Guy. You can search the Points Guy JetBlue Mint review. It's one of Brian Kelly's favorite flights. But here are all the routes that they fly. And a little trick that I do here, if you just want to fly JetBlue Mint, if you want to get to the Caribbean in style, I'm going to show you how to find these flights for relatively cheap for what they are. All right, so we see here a lot of routes out of New York City and Boston to the Caribbean. So what I do is I create a little Google search here. Google Flights, google.com/flights. In this case, I have New York to Aruba. I have business class selected, not first class, business class. I have only JetBlue. It's very simple. You just go down here, only JetBlue. And then I click up the calendar here. I search one way. This is a known Mint route here, again, off New York to Aruba. Yep, they fly Mint. We're going to look at this calendar. And typically, some of these Caribbean destinations will just have very favorable flights. So $413 for a 5-6 hour flight in JetBlue Mint is a pretty good deal. But they'll go even cheaper. I have not done any of these searching before. I'm just literally pulling it up in real time to see if we can catch cheap fares. $468 we see here. Now they don't fly every day, so that's why you'll see, but look, you see in June when it becomes seasonal, it drops down to $379 for JetBlue Mint. That is a great price if you want to go to the Caribbean in style. And sometimes searching through here, especially to Costa Rica and Liberia, which they now fly from, it looks like JFK. Let's just see if we can catch it. It's like under $300, and this is just a really simple way to find these very attractive fares. It's a seasonal route, so you have to click through, and if the date is not showing a price, that means that the route is currently not flying during these months. It looks like I might be out of luck here. We'll try one more. We'll go Boston to how about Aruba and see if we can catch a good deal here. I'm doing this real time. I didn't do any pre-homework. This is just a really good way if you want to try and catch one of these cheap JetBlue Mint fares and see if we can get a little lucky. $339, not bad at all for all the way from Boston. That's a pretty long flight. I mean, economy, you're looking probably $500 round trip. You can see it spikes here in the summer again. But just a really cool way that if you want to search and find those cheap flights, you can really make it happen. JetBlue Mint, use Google Flights, find your cheap route to the Caribbean. Besides that, ladies and gentlemen, earn between 1 and 15 points per dollar when you're buying flights on JetBlue.com. Or get the JetBlue credit card. Make sure you fill up your Amazon cart during flights to earn 3 points per dollar. You can transfer from Chase Ultimate Rewards, but like we showed in the math, it really doesn't make much sense to do that. So go ahead and book through the Ultimate Reward portal. Redeem them. It's very straightforward on the engine. Just toggle over TrueBlue points. Expect 1.2 cents per point based on the revenue cost of that flight. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, go out there and enjoy flying a lovely JetBlue airline. They have a lot of legroom. They have great included snacks. They got live direct TV, and you got Fly-Fi, the free Wi-Fi from gate to gate. It's really hard to complain about that. So if you're a JetBlue fan, I absolutely understand, and all the Mosaic members out there, I really am jealous of what you have going on. Thanks for taking 15 minutes learning JetBlue, TrueBlue. My name is Richard Kerr. Lots more TPG elimination sessions coming up. Everybody take care in the world today. Today's a Friday when we're recording this, and everybody have a great weekend. See you next time.